Isaac Clarke was nobody special, just another systems engineer until the day he responded to a distress call on board the USG Ishimura, the galaxy's oldest planet cracker mining vessel. What he found there was beyond even his darkest imaginings. The Necromorphs, grotesque aberrations reconstructed from the dead flesh of former crew members, had overrun the ship and seemed to have some connection to a religious artifact, the Red Marker, unintentionally unearthed by the Ishimura's illegal mining operation. Whilst trying to aid survivors, including his girlfriend Nicole, Isaac attempted to subdue the Red Marker's influence by returning it to the planet on which it was found, Aegis 7. With the help of other survivors on board the Ishimura, including Nicole, Isaac is ultimately successful in quelling the Necromorph threat and escaping into space. However, he soon discovers that Nicole in fact took her own life prior to his arrival on the Ishimura. What he had been seeing and speaking to was a product of the Marker's influence and his own broken mind. 3 years later, Isaac awoke on a colony on Titan, Saturn's largest moon. Committed to a mental institution and with no memory of anything since his escape from Aegis 7, he was immediately thrown back into the midst of a Necromorph outbreak. Through exploring the massive civilian station, appropriately known as the Sprawl, Isaac discovered that during his 3-year period in stasis, his knowledge of the Marker was used by EarthGov to create blueprints for more markers to be built, including one constructed right on Titan Station itself.
Oh my God! I built that.
Though EarthGov now want Isaac destroyed, the Unitologists want to preserve the blueprints trapped in his brain to harness the power of the Marker for themselves. Though also battling his own dementia and guilt over Nicole's grisly fate, Isaac once again managed to stop the Necromorphs by destroying the so-called Site-12 Marker and Titan Station along with it. Escaping with the help of fellow survivor Ellie, their subsequent whereabouts remained a mystery until now. The Dead Space series has always focused on telling an intriguing story, going deeper than providing just a series of scares. Isaac can't overcome the Necromorph scourge. He can only escape it momentarily. And even when he does escape, he is left damaged to the point where he can no longer trust his own judgment. Whilst the Necromorphs consume humans, and humans consume entire planets, Isaac continues to fight his own personal demons, both mental and physical. But his part in this tale is far from over. Against all odds, Isaac's not dead yet. After the Titan Station was destroyed, Isaac and Ellie parted ways. Isaac, now on the run from EarthGov, went to New Horizons, an overpopulated and depressing colony on Earth's moon. Ellie, not satisfied with hiding out, chose to search for a way to stop the Markers. Isaac couldn't hide for long. Soon after, EarthGov Captain Robert Norton and Sergeant John Carver came knocking on his door. It seems they had been working with Ellie on finding a way to stop the Markers, but Ellie had gone missing while following a lead. To make matters worse, a Unitologist named Jacob Danik has organized his followers into an uprising that threatens to topple the government and unleash markers across all occupied space. Isaac, Carver, and Norton barely escape the Zealots and head to the freezing wastes of Tau Volantis, Ellie's last known location. There, they discover an entire fleet of centuries-old ships, most of them nothing more than scrap orbiting the planet. They also uncover an ancient government program that could reveal a way to stop the marker threat once and for all. A new location brings with it daunting new challenges. Isaac now faces the whiteness of endless snow, as well as the darkness of space. And low visibility on the frozen planet's surface means that a deadly attack can come from any side at any time. Not only will Isaac have new necromorph strains to combat, but he'll also come up against human enemies for the first time, as soldiers dedicated to Unitology's cause are determined to silence Isaac permanently. Luckily, with new challenges come new tools. Benches will now allow Isaac to not only upgrade existing weapons, but by drawing on his engineering expertise, craft entirely new ones as well. There are literally thousands of options, with the ability to customize both primary and secondary fire. New universal ammo clips will mean better inventory management, and scouring the waste for resources will yield stronger weapons. Isaac has also learned a thing or two from his past encounters. After surviving 2 necromorph infestations and conquering his inner demons, he's become more proficient in combat and can now crouch and roll away from danger, and use a new intuitive adaptive cover system to use the environment to his advantage. With Isaac pushing himself to the limit of human endurance in harsh climates, and with fresh snowfall bringing fresh scares, misery has never craved company quite so badly. For the first time, Isaac doesn't have to face his fears alone. A new co-op mode introduces John Carver, an EarthGov sergeant who experiences a necromorph outbreak firsthand and tragically loses his wife and child. Riddled with guilt and seeking redemption, his path crosses with Isaac, and the two join together to combat enemies, both real and imagined. As Carver struggles with the effects of the marker, he begins to hallucinate, and only Isaac can pull him back from the brink.
Hey Carver, whatever you're seeing, it's not real, man!
With Carver's military prowess and Clark's experience with the necromorph plague, they undoubtedly stand a better chance of survival. Although co-op allows players to expand on the Dead Space lore and offers additional side quests and missions, it isn't essential to completing Isaac's story. He may have new company to share the burden, new weapons to craft, and new ground to cover, but ultimately, it's up to Isaac to uncover the secrets of the markers and halt the spread of terror once and for all. It's time to face your fear and take down the terror. Atmosphere in the Dead Space series is key. Everything from the story to the gameplay is shaped with creating a certain kind of atmosphere in mind. Because of this, the games of Dead Space have always maintained a minimal heads-up display. All of the information the player needs is worked directly into the game environment. The player's health is displayed as part of Isaac's engineering suit. Video and audio tapes are played back through the suit's built-in technology. In short, everything the player sees, Isaac sees. Isaac's background as an engineer, rather than a soldier, is an essential part of the gameplay of Dead Space. His weapons are modified mining tools that he salvages from the surrounding environment. Though weapons like the plasma cutter, line gun, and ripper are unusual, they are considerably more effective against necromorphs than conventional weapons, cutting through their flesh faster than bullets. There is only one surefire way of dispatching a necromorph: cut off their limbs. Even if it doesn't destroy them outright, it will slow them down, buying Isaac a precious few moments to regroup and reload. Tactical and strategic dismemberment demands the need to be precise under pressure. Panicking means certain death. Each enemy type requires different tactics to overcome the odds, and if there are no weapons to hand, improvising one from the surrounding environment is always an option. Stasis and kinesis modules are essential to survival. Necromorphs are highly evolved predators and as such move fast. Slowing them down is an effective way to ensure accurate dismemberment. This is where stasis comes in. It will hold a necromorph in place long enough to allow Isaac to take it apart, piece by piece. Kinesis, on the other hand, allows traversal of otherwise dangerous environments. Isaac can lift heavy objects or even turn floating debris into a deadly weapon. Navigating zero-gravity areas also requires extreme caution. Opportunistic enemies can attack from any angle. And moving through vacuums means the added pressure of surviving with an oxygen tank running down to empty. This diverse range of weapons, tactics, and tools are just enough to give Isaac the fighting chance he'll need as he continues to stand against the necromorph threat. But he no longer has to stand alone.